Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to Ages of Rock podcast, episode number 25. This week we're going to do an episode called Under the Influence, which we discuss our musical influences on our children and maybe some of the musical influences that we got from our parents. And we have in the studio tonight, special guest, my son Ian.
Hello.
And you're probably going to see about half of my face and half of his face. But I'm going to open up the floor to either Bill or Dennis. We've all had kind of a crazy couple of weeks, and none of us are prepared, so this is totally on the fly.
We're prepared? What are you talking about?
Prepared? What's that?
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about first how your parents influenced your musical taste. So that will be a good segue to Spud Tater sitting next to the Tater. So there you go. All right. So for me, my mom, we always had music going on in the house. She always had, we had a stereo that had like the 5 disc, 5 LP changer, and there was always something on there. Usually it was the same things, like the same. I don't think she owned more albums, but she only could play 5. Period. But it was stuff that from the early '70s. It was Helen Reddy and Mac Davis and Seals and Crofts. We talked about that stuff before. So, but that that was stuff that and I listen to that stuff. It brings back a lot of memories. And since my mom's passed 2 years just the other day on Monday, when I even hear first notes of some of those songs, they are so they mean so much, bringing me back to that it gets a little bit emotional. So I struggle with that a little bit. And my dad listened to all kinds of stuff. He listened to he still kind of listens to a variety of things. It's kind of interesting. He took me to my first Kiss concert, and he's seen them, I think, like 9 times. So he just kind of kept going.
That noise is happening.
We're getting it big time. I hear it too.
I don't know where it's coming from. Oh, no. Is it me shaking my head?
No.
No, it sounds like... Well, my friend Chuck pointed it out, and he said it sounded like Darth Vader.
I was just going to say it sounds like Darth Vader. And it's like...
I told him that I thought it was the ghost of Prince.
All right, we'll get back. Anyway, so my dad... So he took me to my first Kiss show, and then he listened to a lot of this kind of the same stuff I did. So we kind of had some pretty similar musical tastes even when I was younger. So that's kind of it for me. We still kind of go to stuff together. We would go to stuff together if we lived closer, but that's kind of it for my parental influence. Dennis?
Okay. As far as me, I was just trying to make that sound. I was holding my breath, and then I was like breathing, and I don't know what the hell it is.
Hey, hold your breath. We'll tell you when to start again.
Okay. Ready? No, I mean, we discussed this in actually our first episode, our background and stuff. But, I'm the same way as you. We didn't have a whole catalog of albums. We had a few, and, I warned what we had out, basically. Listened to a lot of radio. My parents were they were into music per se. They weren't big music people. I mean, they liked music, but it wasn't a big, they didn't go to concerts, and they didn't, we listened to radio and stuff like that. That's about it, The one thing that they did do for me is they never said no, or when I get into Kiss and when I like Queen and there was no problem getting that music, I could bring Alice Cooper in, there was never none of that. You're not going to play this here, not going to play this here, and, my walls were covered with posters and stuff like that. And, never got any, like some parents won't let you do that. And I never got that. And then also, when I started playing music, playing guitar, that was once I showed the interest and was showing that I could play and was willing to learn, then, Dad was out, okay, let's go buy a guitar, and stuff like that. So they did back me up on that and help me out with my first band.
I had to buy a trombone, damn it.
I played upright bass in high school.
When they get around in school and gave you that little test, you could hear the notes. I was the top one in the class, but then I went home and said, yeah. And the first thing out of their mouth was, "You're just going to quit. You're not going to," So I didn't join the band. And so it wasn't until, like I said, junior high when I started playing guitar, and I was like, I want to get a guitar. Dad's like, well, you're going to learn how to play. That's when I bought a $5 guitar from my friend, learned to play a few songs. Then he took me to Tell City and bought me a $100 guitar. So it was one of those situations. But that's about my background as far as my parents and my influences on music. Hal?
My dad was always a rocker. He still is a rocker. My mom listened to country music, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, what was popular in the 70s and in the 80s. And much like you, Dennis, my parents, whether they approved of what I was listening to or not, they never told me I couldn't listen to it.
Right.
But my first musical experience, I guess, was the trombone. I started playing the trombone in the 6th grade, and then in the 10th grade, I realized that girls like guys who play drums better than trombones. And there was no looking back after that.
Well, you mean this isn't sexy?
Not when you keep hitting a girl in front of you in the head.
Wow.
But
so, you're good.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just filling dead air.
Yeah. So, what about Ian over there? What about your dad? Has he influenced you at all?
Oh, absolutely. I think, well, him and Mom both listen to a lot of different stuff. Mom listens to more like modern day pop stuff. I know, like, when she's in her car, she has Sirius and she listens to this channel. It's called Love, which is like slower, more like relaxy love music. Yeah. So,
Time.
and obviously he. Obviously, like, he listens to rock and stuff, so going back and forth between them, them hauling me around all the time as a kid, I got a pretty wide array of music. And then when they were together, they listened to oldies, so I got that influence.
Of course, oldies for him is the 90s.
But, so growing up, I was kind of introduced to a lot of different music right from the start. And I think about it all the time, like, I just took a trip to Cincinnati with one of my coworkers, and he listens to country, and that's it. And I typically listen to like electronic or modern day stuff. That's just what I danced. So like that's kind of the stuff that I was introduced to all the time. And we listened to rock the whole time because that's just something we both like. It was a common interest, and I attest that to him. And I think to myself a lot of the time, I'm very thankful that I grew up with parents that listened to a wide array of music because it exposed me to a lot of different things, and I'm really not too picky about what I listen to. So that's kind of where I come from in it. And then I was in band too, like what he said. In school, I started as percussion in 6th grade, and then about halfway through 8th grade, I taught myself to play trumpet. And then I marched trumpet while I was in high school. So that kind of gave me another insight of how to like read and understand music instead of just listening to it. So
you're not a bass player?
No.
Then you're cool.
He's smart.
He's cool. Then he's in. It's interesting you say it because my Alex that was here a while ago that you saw, he listens to EDM.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of, and he's been to a couple of shows up in Indianapolis, and I've listened to a couple of that. I mean, he's into Steve Aoki and a couple of different Calvin Harris, that kind of stuff. So it's interesting that. We do have some of the same tastes as well, but we'll get into that. But it's kind of cool that I think that we've talked about it before on the show that the teenagers really kind of drive in young adults because I don't think you're a teenager anymore if I'm not mistaken. I think you're older now.
Technically, I am.
He's got 2 more months.
Oh, technically you are, okay. That really drives the music scene today. I mean, it's historically that's what it's always been. Teenagers are what's driving it. So that's cool. That's neat.
Now, Dennis said something about. Did you say your dad took you to some shows?
No.
Your dad didn't
My
take you to
dad
any
did.
shows?
He took me to see Kiss. He took me to see Cheap Trick. My stepmother took me to see Alice Cooper. My mom took me to see Styx.
His second concert was Kiss in Nashville back in 2000 and
That's a good dad right there.
2004.
Awesome.
And the funny part about it was he was standing right in front of me. And up on the big screen, you see these great big breasts pop up.
I knew this was coming.
And I could just see his ears rise where he was smiling so big. So I only recall taking Ian to 2 concerts.
You can be to Alice Cooper at the center.
Yeah, I took Ian and my dad both to Alice Cooper. So
That's cool.
that was in 2006. That was a pretty cool experience.
That was a really good show.
You know, because he didn't want to go. He was, I can't believe my dad's making me go. And I'm like, well, once it starts, you'll get it.
Was this the one with where they played the Nightmare and the full? And Eric Singer was there.
Eric Singer was there, but they didn't play the Nightmare. Nightmare.
I thought that was because I took Max. I thought that was that same show.
No, that was the one that they had Crash Kelly open for them.
Okay, then I guess that's not the one I saw.
Yeah,
then.
but we were down pretty close to the front. I think we were about 6th row, but he couldn't see.
Right.
And everybody that was up front, you know, they were like, "Get him up here." So Alice Cooper high-fived him. Damon Johnson gave him a guitar pick.
Man.
Eric Singer gave him a pair of sticks, and Calico gave him a bloodbath.
Cool.
I think I saw
Wow.
that picture on my door.
I have a picture that I have to. It's a picture on his bedroom door. I have to snap a picture of it and show it to you guys later. I might post it on the.
I think you
Facebook
posted it
page.
on Facebook. Before.
I probably have.
I think I did. I think I've seen that
Picture
picture.
of it too before I leave.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So is that Ian, is that one of those things for you that after you go to something like that, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to any more shows. This was pretty cool and pretty special. I don't think that anything's going to match up to this. So did you kind of have that feeling?
No.
It's because
He's been to several concerts with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first time I took Alex to see Kiss was when we met Gene Simmons, and he every time Kiss comes and I'm like, I bought his tickets, he's like, I don't want to go because nothing will ever be like the first show. There's nothing ever in it, so that's interesting. That's cool.
Well, I think about it. I mean, I was pretty young when we went. I was probably 10.
Yeah, you had just turned. You've
Yeah.
been 10 for a couple of months.
Yeah,
Alice
I
Cooper show.
mean, so I was still pretty young at that point, you know. So I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, it was a really cool experience, but I feel like at a young age, like seeing it as an older, like more mature person, it would give me a much different perspective on. Oh, shut up.
My son, mature. Mm-mm.
Oh, I was wondering if he wasn't taking you with him. He was taking a mature person.
Because I said I took Max down there with that center. It was the Dirty Diamonds tour is what we went to.
No, that's a different tour.
Yeah, but that, like I said, at the very end, they played the whole, basically the whole Nightmare in its entirety.
I would like to have seen that because Nightmare is
Max,
my favorite
so
album.
I took Max and Kelly. We took Max along with us, and the whole time, whenever they got ready to start doing the Nightmare, I was like, "Dude, this is going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen." And Max is kind of just sitting there going, "Dude, is this about over?" I'm like, I'd be losing my mind if I was that age, seeing this, and he was like, "Yeah, okay," And we'll get into that here in a little bit.
My first concert was Kiss, and the second one was Alice Cooper.
My first
And they weren't
concert
that
was
far
Kiss.
apart, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my first concert was Kiss, and the second one was Joan Jett a year later.
Yeah.
He wanted to go. His first one was he wanted to go see was it 3 Days Grace, I think it was, and it was. I mean, he liked it, but that's
I like 3 Days Grace.
But we are going to go see Weird Al because he's been wanting to see Weird Al,
Oh, that'll be cool.
and I kind of want to see him too. So that'll be interesting to go to a show that he really wants to go to because Max is not. He's just not he's just not into music like I am. He's into. He doesn't mind music, and he doesn't. He'll listen to music. But he just doesn't, it's like, hey, he has these little bitty speakers on his stereo. I'm like, well, dude, I can hook you up with these great big speakers. I'm fine. And it just doesn't, hey, Max, you got, there's 13,000 songs on your iTunes. I loaded for you. Yeah, I know. But he just doesn't, he'll listen to like songs that are on his games and stuff, something like that. He's just not into music. And I can't get that. It drives me bonkers. He's a great kid. He's just not into music. And it's
Fellas, Ian needs to get on out of here.
All right,
okay.
man.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
It was great having you. Stop back by
We
sometime.
actually had somebody mature on the show.
Fine.
Well, we will get one of them other
devices.
devices in this house set up,
I'm gonna bring my laptop.
and the next time that he comes on the show, you can do it from your place.
Yeah.
But we'll have him set up with a working Skype. This was a last minute, hey, you want to do this?
Right.
So we weren't really
That's cool.
prepared.
I think I took a bite of a burger and he said, "Hey, you want to do a podcast tonight?"
I did it just like that. You want to do a podcast tonight?
That's how he talks. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Hey, no
coming.
problem. Thank you.
I'll send you a
Thanks,
picture.
Ian. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right, sorry, folks. We had a couple of technical difficulties there, self-inflicted. And Bill's going to have to say what he was saying all over again.
Alan's a big giant. Oh, that's not what.
Nope,
that's not what it was.
that's off the air. Off the air.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about our kids. So Madison listens to a lot of stuff some of the same stuff that I listen to. We've been to some concerts together and stuff like that. I've taken her to see Kiss, and we went to see Kiss and Poison. That tour it was pretty cool. That was a good show. She really enjoyed it. So
That was the Rock the Nation tour?
Yeah, Rock the
That's
Nation.
the one I took Ian to see.
Yeah, and she really liked it. So we've been to a couple of shows together, and she listens to more. We were talking about music one day, and I played "Down with the Sickness" by Disturbed in the car, and she's like, "Man, I really like that." So she's really into more of that kind of. Well, she was. I don't know what she listens to now because she's moved out, but it's more. She likes that kind of music, and then she was going to some of those. I don't know. You don't call them death metal, but those metal shows that.
New metal?
Huh?
New metal?
Yeah, I guess so. It's that real dark stuff that I don't know. It's nothing I can't get into it. I listened to like one half a beat. It was like this. I can't do it. So I don't listen to too much. Noah or Alex, he listens, like I said earlier, to some EDM, but we have some same musical taste too. We live so that we, together. We went to see Zach Brown last year, that kind of stuff. But and we do listen to some things. But it's so it's not too bad. I mean, he'll grab a CD or something like that and used to put him in the car, so he's all right. And Noah listens to everything. He listens to the stuff I listen to, and then we have a lot of similar tastes, and that's just, it's kind of cool that way. He's kind of my concert buddy, and I can drag him places and stuff like that. And he'll go to about anything.
Well, he went to Foo with us, didn't he? He was the one who went up to Foo Fighters with us, didn't he?
No, that was just you and I that went to Foo, wasn't it?
No,
that was my buddy Rob.
But we took him up to their
Motley Crue.
No, that was Motley Crue. Yes, because we had
Motley Crue and Alice Cooper, and he thought Alice Cooper was phenomenal.
I forgot.
So I asked him about going to see Alice again this year, and he's like, "Nah, I saw him. It was good, but I'm not really, I don't want to go." So
that's when everybody was smoking reefer, and we had to try to hide him.
Yeah, that's when the kid in front of us was just trashed.
So we keep moving the kids around behind us, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you stand over here? Because now these guys are firing it up."
Well, let me interject in here for a minute, fellas. For the folks who are listening that are wondering what that breathing type sound is, we haven't figured out what that is yet. We can't decide if it's the ghost of Prince or if it's Darth Vader listening in. Or maybe the FBI is listening in and the guy doesn't know how to mute his microphone. So anyway, if you guys hear that, that's what that is. We'll figure out what it is eventually, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Somehow.
Back to your regular programming.
All right. So that's pretty much it for my kids. Lisa and I listen to a lot of the same stuff. It's funny because Ian says she listens, what Laura listens to, and Lisa's kind of the same way. She listens to pop music and that stuff in the car, and then it's just interesting how different some men and women are. So Amy Dingman must be she's the oddball.
She's the metalhead, and what does her husband listen to?
And Lee, I guess those are two of the oddballs.
Right.
What do you guys got? Dennis, so you said
I said Max doesn't Max doesn't really get in. No, he's just not interested in. He's a movie guy. He loves movies, but he's just not really into music. Now Kelly, on the other hand, she loves music. But we have similarities, and we see a lot of shows together, and yet some I go to hers and she comes to mine, and we just and there's stuff that we see together. You get in the car, and we got Sirius in our new car that we just got it put on for a couple weeks or for a couple months, and our XM, and if you get into her car, she's either got Alt Nation on. She likes a lot of the 90s and like the alternative stuff, which I like too. But then she likes singer-songwriter at Coffee House, stuff like that. So we went to a couple shows up in Indianapolis. We went and seen Amos Lee a couple times now, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm not really into, but I went with her. I appreciate it. It's not my thing, but I will go to see it. And like I said, we went and seen, like we'll talk about it here in a little bit. We went and seen Five Finger Death Punch and that Shinedown last, or was it last night? No, not 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
And and we're both kind of, we left a little early because we were both looking at each other like we're hungry, and it's like, you know what, I don't care if you're ready to go, and she's like, I'm ready to go. But she does. She's went and seen Kiss with us. We went and seen. She loves Foo Fighters. That is her band. So we do go. We've seen them. We've drove. Unfortunately, they never come to Evansville. So we've been to Indy, Nashville, St. Louis. And we've even drove to Memphis to see them. And Kelly's like, she hears that they're anywhere close, we try to get tickets for it. And so that's her thing. When I first met her, she loved Zeppelin at the time, and she was into the Police. She was a big Police fan at the time, and of course, and I was I was all into the metal type stuff too at that time, and she likes it. Like I said, she'll go. A lot of times when we'll go to concerts, she's going to every one of them that we're going to this summer, and she has not a problem of it. But I like going to see like Styx, and she's skipped out on a few of those shows, the classic rock. She's kind of burned on that stuff. I was all excited when the Def Leppard said about REO. I've seen REO probably 20 times, but I still like to go see him. Yeah, there's that picture. I've seen.
There you go. That's cool.
That is cool. Awesome. You look a little lighter back then, Al.
Working on becoming light again.
We all are.
Some days I do better than others.
Don't we all?
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's basically my. Like I said, Kelly and I, we enjoy the music. Max just doesn't. He just has no interest in it, and it really kicks my butt sometimes because when I was a kid, I wanted to play music. I had to really work hard to get instruments. I've got a whole freaking room full. I've got every instrument you could think of. And I've tried. I'm begged Max. Hey, let me give you guitar lessons, or here, try this. And I stuck a bass in his room for a while. So here, play with this. Do something with it.
You can't force people to be bass
You
players.
can't.
You just can't force it.
See, that was my mistake.
You can't force it on somebody.
See, what you should have said is you're not allowed to touch my guitars.
There you go.
There you go. Probably. I may use a little reverse psychology.
Yeah.
No, and he's had every opportunity. I told him, I said, anytime you want to try to play something, I'd be willing to help you. And he just doesn't.
I did the same thing with Ian. I took him for guitar lessons, and for 30 minutes a week, he was into it.
Right.
When you get home, that guitar gets put in the corner.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like you said, you can't force somebody into something, and
Right.
he has his interest, and he's happy. So that's all.
That's all that matters. That's absolutely right.
Now go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you guys talked to my son. That's pretty much what he's. Now he did say something on Twitter one day that I thought was funny. He had tweeted that he was really appreciative of the fact that his parents had such a wide variety of musical tastes that he didn't feel boxed into one genre or whatever. And then I'd click the little like button on it or the heart or whatever, and I saw him later that day, and he says, that tweet was your fault. And I says, why is that? And he's like, because I got the song Psycho Circus stuck in my head, and I had to listen to the damn album.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
Punished him.
yeah.
He felt he needed to be punished for some reason. Poor kid.
If that had been unmasked or something, yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Could have been the elder to have been tortured. That'd have been really bad.
Peter Criss's album. Oh, I'm sorry, son.
Wow. For getting a D on your report card, you have to listen to Peter Criss solo album 3 times in a row.
Oh my gosh, that would probably get you sent to child services or something.
You've already had that discussion. I would make him listen to Jeans, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, regardless, I guess that's really all that I have for influences. Concerts.
Yeah.
I've seen the first concert I went to with my dad. I took him on Father's Day when Styx reunited.
Right.
It was Pat Benatar and Styx. I took him to see that, and then the next year he took me to see Laidlaw, Leonard Skinner, and ZZ Top. That was at Robert. Both of those were at Robert Stadium.
Right.
And then I think the only other concert I remember going to him with was when I took him and Ian to see Alice Cooper.
Cool.
I went and saw one country concert with my mom, and that was plenty.
Yeah.
Not because it was my mom, but because it was country.
Right.
Yeah,
I like
some
old
country stuff with my mom. I
Yeah.
mean, we did go to some things.
We went and saw Patty Loveless when they'd come out to Colorado to visit me when I was in the service. But Patty Loveless was in a little country bar in Colorado Springs, so I got him tickets and we went and saw it.
Yeah, so my mom, we went to. Yeah, I was pretty lucky that way. I mean, my parents would take me to stuff that I wanted to go to. They never really.
See, I
didn't,
never.
so that was kind of cool.
That
I
was
mean,
one thing because I wanted to see Kiss when they came to Evansville. What would have been '77 or whatever it was, and I begged to go to that show, and of course, they would not. For my first show was Rush on the Signals tour in my senior year, and my mom and dad let us go. Me and a couple of friends, and let us drive to Evansville that night and see that. But they would not. I mean, they had no interest in seeing a show or taking me to a show. They weren't that. And then, other than like I said in an earlier episode, they seen a Dick Clark Road show back when they were dating. And the next concert they really saw was when I took them to see American Idol live, and that was it. I mean, they hadn't seen a concert, ever.
That was a little bit of a gap between shows.
That was a very.
Yeah, my dad still goes. I mean, they go. So now they go see stuff like they go to like the they have those like the Turtles reunion shows where they have like 6 or 7 bands, those kind of things, and they're really into the Mavericks, which is kind of odd. They're the Mavericks are a country band, and
Right.
my dad and my stepmom are really into them. They go to see them every time they're out, which is I don't know. That's not somebody that I'm really that interested in, but they still go to a lot of stuff, so it's interesting. It was cool, kind of going. My stepmother took me to see Alice Cooper. I thought that was really kind of, now that I look back at it, how cool that really was, because she was totally not into it. It really was not about her going. I mean, it was really about her going and taking me. So
she wasn't carrying one of those Matt Mock signs like in the Detroit Rock City movie.
No, it's no.
It'd be Matt.
So
Matt.
that I'm pretty lucky from that perspective to get to go to some of that stuff. I remember going to see Styx with my mom, and sitting there, and the guys and people in front of us were past. I mean, I don't know how much pot they smoked, but it was a lot. So we had a little contact thing going on. So I remember getting home and telling my mom I was starving, and we had a pizza place about a Pizza Roma. Do you remember Pizza Roma?
Yeah.
So it used to be like a half a block from my house, and I'm like, she's like, well, order a pizza. I'm going to take a bath, and so I ordered the pizza and ran down to Pizza Roma, and I'm sitting there, and like, I didn't take any money. So like, and I was, God, how old was I? I don't know, 12, 13, something like that.
That's funny.
And so I go to pay for it. I didn't have any money, so I had to run back home. And she's standing and sitting in the living room with $20 waiting for me to get that, just laughing at me.
That's funny. That's a good memory, isn't it?
It is a memory, and that's I think that I really hope that, and I think all three of us do. Musical or otherwise, you hope you make those moments with your kids that just. You do have it influence, right? And it makes them think about something that they'll think about, good Lord, 45 years later.
Even though my parents
35 years later, 36 years. That's cool, man. It's some neat stuff.
But it's even like, whenever I said, my parents didn't take me to concerts. I remember when I went to that Rush concert, I think my dad was working. He worked at Alcoa and worked swing shift, and I think he was working nights at the time. But I remember getting home at night, and Mom waited up, and of course, then she's like, asking me all kinds of questions. Well, what'd you think? What'd you think? And I remember I got home, I was like, that was my first, I'd never seen anything like that. And I remember telling my mom, I said, you know what, Mom, I said, one of these days I'm going to play at that place. I'm going to play Robert Stadium. And it was about 26 years later, I did. I played, cool. And Mom wished that I couldn't get tickets for her because Toyota, they were real they were only allowing one person per person because there's just too many people for the stadium. Which now I wish I would have got her in. But now, my parents now too. They've come and seen me play now probably maybe 4 or 5 times, and it's really hard for me to play when they're there because I'm very conscious of everything, and it makes me nervous. And it's like, I'm just, and they like. I mean, they have a good time. They went see me that last time at St. Minor Rocks last year. They came out there, and they're like,
That's
"Oh my
cool.
gosh!" And even the dad was like, "You really sound good." And I'm like, I know that's not his kind of music, but they enjoy it. They seem to really enjoy it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
My old band plays the kind of music my dad likes,
Right.
and he said we were playing down in Morganfield, Kentucky, and he said he would like to go. And Laura says, "Well, I'm going to go for a little bit, so if you want to ride it along with me, you're welcome to. And then when you're ready to go home, we'll go." She told me, she's like, "Yeah, your dad never likes to stay out long, so I'll get to be home by 9 o'clock." He stayed the whole night.
Yeah.
He had a ball. She's like, "I was never so mad at your dad in my life."
That's cool. That's
cool.
very cool. I remember my dad, I think they took me to stuff because, they thought it was cool, but I mean, just so for me, but, you know, I've taken the kids to stuff that, like Madison, I thought it was important. So when she was little, she was into the boy bands, right? She was into NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and that kind of stuff. So I remember we took her to see Backstreet Boys in Cincinnati, I think it was, and she fell asleep during the first. She's like 6 or 7, but it was cool, and she fell asleep, and then we took her to see NSYNC, and she got grounded for her grade, so she didn't get to go. So I had to go because we had a ticket, and for some reason Lisa thought I should be punished. It was a punishment.
Yeah.
But I took Alex to Alex and some of his friends up to Klipsch in Indianapolis, and they went to see Chris Brown. I had no desire to go see that garbage, so I took him and dropped him off, and went to the movie, and came back and picked him up. Took Madison and one of her friends when they were 17, I think it was, and I really didn't feel comfortable with 2 girls driving all the way to the north side of Indy.
Right.
Took him to see Kelly Clarkson, and dropped them off, and then went and hung out at McDonald's and took my laptop and was a creeper. Probably. But I think that's the kind of cool stuff you do as a dad.
Yeah.
You want them to be exposed to that stuff. And I'll tell you a funny story about one of the first concerts I took Madison to was to see Nickelback. And she wanted to
Now
go.
that is punishment.
That's punishment.
It was fine for me. It was fine for me. I don't mind Nickelback.
For all of you Nickelback fans, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I wanted to go because Chris Daughtry was opening. That was really the reason I wanted to go.
Good, actually.
And there was somebody else too, Stained. Chris Daughtry, Stained, and Nickelback.
Stained.
I think that's who it was. Or did Stained open for Kiss and Aerosmith? I can't remember. Anyway, there was 3 bands. But so I took Madison for her birthday because it was right around her birthday. Her birthday's in July. So I took her and a couple of her girlfriends and took them up there. We got lawn seats. It was one of those buy 4 lawn tickets for however much money. And so that was the first concert, kind of big thing some of them have been to. So I took them and they went walking around or whatever, and they got some food and stuff like that. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I waited for them to get back. And then I said, well, I'm going to go walk around. So I went the same way they did. And so I think it was Madison's like 14th or 15th birthday, something like that. I can't remember exactly. And gosh, it's one of those things as a dad, you kind of go, really? As soon as you got out of the concert area at Klipsch, they had this thing where you could spin this wheel and get a condom. And they were asking people to come over. You want to spin the wheel for a free condom? And I'm like, oh my God. I can just hear my dog, Madison.
They're like balloons.
Friends,
They're balloons.
going home and going, what'd you do at the concert? Well, we spun this wheel, Mom, and look what they got. We got this prize.
They're balloons.
That's funny.
Some goofy crap, I'm telling you. Crazy stuff. All right, let's talk about some music news. How's that sound?
Cool. That sounds cool.
Switch gears, get close to wrapping it up tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
So here's what I heard today, that there is going to be a Foreigner reunion.
I heard that too.
Lou Graham has said that, or Mick Jones has said that Lou Graham and him are going to join forces, and they're going to go out do a tour, the Head Games tour. So it's going to be a 40th album or 40th year thing, which is going to be awesome. And actually, I said something to Noah earlier because we're going to that show, right? I'm like, yeah, we're going to that show. So he's excited. I don't know when it's going to happen yet or anything like that, but definitely some good news because that's kind of cool. I want that's a band I'd really like to see. So, speaking of that, just off the top of your head, what are three? This came up on a different website the other day, but it made me think about it. So, what are the three bands you guys want to see?
I've seen them all.
There's nobody left?
Probably not.
Wow.
Because either they're in the position that they're past their prime. I always wanted to see Ozzy. I never got to see Ozzy in his prime. I don't want to see him now.
No.
I don't know if I want to see Foreigner with Lou Graham or not. I guess I'll have to hear some samples.
He sounds really good. Have you not heard him?
Well, I know there for a while he was
He had
having
some health issues. He couldn't breathe.
And he couldn't sing very well.
No.
So
I heard him.
I have seen Foreigner with Lou Graham before, way back in '94. So I guess nixed Foreigner because I forgot about that. I always wanted to see
somebody that you've seen before that you want to see
Scorpions.
again.
I've never seen the Scorpions.
I haven't either. I'd like to see Scorpions.
Yeah, that's not a band that I like their music, but
I did meet Klaus Meine though. I met him. That was the first celebrity I ever met. I met him in Germany.
that's cool.
Yeah, he's like this tall.
Yeah, and he speaks zero English.
Oh, he speaks English.
Not very much.
He spoke it to me. I guess that's all that matters.
I think Matisse, when they do interviews, I think Matisse does most of the talking. Doesn't he?
Yeah, that may be a good choice. Dennis, what about you?
Honestly, you guys are gonna be laughing at me, but
we'll laugh at you anyway.
I don't want to see some people that I'm kind of like Al. I've seen so many bands anymore. I really don't care to see Kiss unless I can make the set list. I'll go see Kiss again. But there's some people that I haven't seen and I would like to see, and they're not in the rock kind of thing. I mean, I would like to see Barry Manilow. I'd like to see.
You better hurry up.
Yeah, because he's retiring.
He's in bad shape. He's got bad health issues.
Really, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see Billy Joel. I've never seen him.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. Elton
He's
John.
out a lot. He's out every year just about.
Yeah, I'd like to see Elton John.
I saw him. That was really good.
I'd like to see Paul McCartney.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen him. So they're not really. Like I said, I've seen the big, the rock band. Like I said, Scorpions would be a good one because I did have tickets to that years ago at the Monsters of Rock, but I couldn't go that night, so I couldn't had to give my ticket up. I'm trying to think real quick. Those are the kind of people I want to see. People that I have. I really, everybody's always like. I really have I've never seen the Stones, but I really don't have any desire to see the Rolling Stones.
They were in Indy last year. They played at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I asked Noah about going because I thought he'd be kind of cool to go. He and I go, and he said he had no interest. And
I've had some friends that seen them years ago, and they said it was really good. But I'm just not a big Stones fan.
I like them. I just don't. I don't know.
I like the Who's music, but I don't like right now how they sound. Yeah. And it's not the Who. It's basically two guys.
It's the Who's left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd go see Led Zeppelin.
If they would get something together, yeah, I would see that.
I'd go see that.
I would have liked to see the Police when they came around to that last tour.
Now, I've got a friend whose son lives and breathes Police, and he saw him at Bonnaroo, and he said it was terrible. He said he lost so much respect for them because they're such good musicians, and basically Sting was being a douche.
Well,
that's why I don't like that band.
They never got along anyway. They were always kind of. But anyway, but yeah, I like to. There's a lot of people that I'd like to see that I've never seen before. But the problem is these people are getting old now, and better. You can't really. Young wise, there's nothing really big that I'd want to see. I just had something that hit me. What was I was just thinking? Oh, I wouldn't want to see Pink Floyd, but I would like to see Roger Waters do The Wall. I think that's
Yeah, they did.
He's traveling around doing that wall thing now. I think that's really cool.
I don't know that I could sit through a whole show of that though. Really,
But if they're doing the wall, I love that album, so I would like to see that.
I'm pretty sure that you and I listened to The Wall one day.
Yeah, I guarantee.
That's all we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far
no
as
other comments.
to go see Pink Floyd, Gilmore's Pink Floyd, I have no desire. I really don't, because they play a lot of shit that, unless they were going to like do Dark Side of the Moon. But right now there's these touring bands going around that sound just like it, and will do old Dark Sides or something like that.
Pretty good.
I'd like to see some of those actually. So that's where I'm at anyway.
Yeah. So I responded to the thing. I would really like to have seen AC/DC with
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. I have no desire to see Axel DC. That doesn't interest me in any way, shape, or form.
Can't believe that's happening. That's just ridiculous.
Well, there's some music.
They are offering people ticket refunds though.
I did see that.
At one of the shows, and I can't remember which one show it was, there were 7,000 people that asked for refunds.
But they've resold all the tickets.
Yeah, well, whatever. Okay. Anyway, Metallica was somebody I'd never seen that I'd like to see.
I've never seen them.
I have no desire to see Metallica. No desire.
All right. Journey with Steve Perry, because I never got to see Steve
there you
Perry.
go.
I don't really want to see him with
I have seen him with that other guy.
Arnell
No, I haven't
guy.
seen him. No, I take that back. I've seen it with the previous guy.
Steve Aguirre.
Yeah.
Agari,
When they
Aguirre,
they
Aguilera.
they came and did it. We had Toyota hired him for a concert.
Okay, Billy, how do we pronounce that?
Yeah, we're going to get in trouble for that one.
Billy's sitting there going, or he will be sitting there.
God damn it!
God damn it! I know that.
Dude,
You know who I would like to see in concert?
Who?
The Foo Fighters.
Hey,
well, we're
I'm
going
gonna
to that.
look them up
buddy.
on
You better-
Spotify.
Because I'm going. The next time they're out, I'm going. So I'm going
I was
again.
getting to the Spotify. I just had time there. I've already mentioned the food once.
I got to see them, so I don't have to put them on my list.
I will see
White
them.
Snake is a band I've never seen that I like. I thought about going this year. I mean, they're on tour. Queen.
Oh, I would have loved to see Queen with Freddie Mercury. I have no desire to see it now. None.
I don't know. I might, depending on the tickets and where I'd have to go, I might go see Queen with Adam Lambert, because I don't think it would be a lot different than going to see Queen with Freddie Mercury. I mean, it'll be different, but they're very similar. They're
very similar in their actions and stuff like that. But man, Freddie is just the voice. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then Eric Clapton is somebody I've never seen that I've always wanted to see, because I think he's just kind of cool. He's one of those cool guitar guys. So anyway, all right. So that was a little sidebar fun.
Yeah.
Well, I have a sidebar thing I kind of like to throw out there, but it has finish your thought, and then I'll start my thought. I just wanted to get that out there before I forgot.
Oh, my thought's done.
It died.
It's dead in the water. A couple of weeks ago, Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley's cover of Fire and Water came out, and people are just going apeshit over this.
It's cool, man.
And I want to hypothesize that I think in 2017, Kiss is going to do a final tour, and they're going to have Ace Frehley back in the makeup.
I can see that happening.
That is my conspiracy theory, hypothetical. If it happens, you heard it here first.
Did you notice?
If I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the first time.
There's a lot of niceties going on right now. I noticed Ace made a comment, was it today or yesterday, about
Paul,
how much he learned
beautiful.
from them about their vocals and their triple vocal. There's a lot of niceties going on, and that video that they did, they're all hugging, and how long has it been, and blah blah blah. Dude, it's going to happen. They're testing the fucking water. It's just like it was in '96.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to see though, because I don't want to see the farewell, another farewell tour that ends up being the same tour as it was the last time. I really want to see what we talked about a couple weeks ago, which is I want to see them bring back every member that's been in Kiss that's still alive and do something that's not like anybody else has ever done. Nobody else has ever done that. There's never been people that have been. They just haven't done that.
It needs
they're
to
all
be
playing together. That would be. I I don't know how much
It
I
needs
paid
to
for
be a
Vegas.
Vegas residency.
It has to be huge. That would be huge.
But they need
When
to do
you
it in
guys
Vegas.
walk out on stage, leave those egos in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah, this is not about you guys. This is about the fan. It really. That would truly be about the fans.
And at
Truly
that
be about
point,
the fans.
be done.
Right.
And just be done. Walk away. And
Flip the switch and say, we're done.
Drop the mic.
Yep, that's it.
But can you imagine? I mean,
Oh, it would be, and like I said, do it in a residency situation.
If
where
they
don't
did a
have to do it.
residency like that in Vegas,
Going,
I'm going.
Or all
I'm telling you, the residency better be at Market Square at MGM or it better be there in that arena because that freaking thing is huge because they're going to sell that bad boy out for a few nights. It's not going to be like it was, it's not going to be that the Hard Rock Hotel where they're selling it and it's got 3,000 seats in it. They're going to sell that bitch out.
No, that would be a classy way to do it. It would just be, it would be the icing on the cake. I mean, that would make the 40 years that we've followed this fucking band worth it. It would be like, thank you.
It would be. That would be the ultimate thank you.
Go enjoy your life. Go. You're fine. Thank you. You're
do whatever you want to do. If Paul wants to go out and do other stuff, and he wants to,
and he will. I think he's going to keep doing this Soul Station thing, and that's fine.
That would that would be awesome. It would be awesome. I mean, it would be. I don't know.
I don't know. Did we talk about this real quick too? I thought about it. When Prince passed away, did you see where Gene was on CNN? Did we talk about that last time?
It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
He actually, for once,
really
went
good.
out there and never once self-promoted anything for himself. He was very, very genuine. Seemed to be not, I don't want to say the word upset, but seemed to be very concerned. But not one of this Gene the salesman was gone. It was just a guy giving tribute to a guy. I was really impressed. I was like, you know what? Good for Gene.
And it was kind of cool because he didn't really say that he knew Prince very well or whatever. He just talked about the fact of how much he felt he influenced music, and I thought it was really cool. He did a great job. I think it's cool. I watched a show the other night called what was it called again? Darn it! All Things Must Pass. Yeah, have you guys seen that?
Where is that on? I want to see that.
You can. I think you can get it off iTunes, maybe. No, not iTunes. Amazon's got it.
I want to see that. That's a Tower Record thing, right?
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Apparently, that's
can?
the trailer. So I'm looking at it here to see where I don't know if you can get it. It says Netflix. It's on Netflix, and it's on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I can watch it then.
It was really, really good. And the Solomon guy that owned that was really smart, and it's just so different. It's really not different. So it's different in the fact of how he ran the business, where he ran the business as a bunch of friends that got together and started this thing, and how it was really cool. It was really neat. I walked in Noah watching it, and then I said, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to tape this for you because I think you'd like it." It was really good. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's called All Things Must Pass, and it's about the rise and fall of Tower Records. Have you guys been to a Tower Records before?
No, I've not.
There was one in Nashville down on Broadway Street.
Is there one in Orlando there, downtown Disney?
There was one.
It was huge.
There's not anymore.
No, it's something else now.
Yeah.
Now.
And I've been to one in Chicago. I've been in the one there. I've been to the one in Nashville, and just cool places. I mean, big rooms of just, if you went to classical music room, it was a room. It was a room the size of the base of your house. I mean, it was neat. So if you get a chance, check it out. So
yeah, and you say, what's the name of it again? You say it's the
All Things Must Pass.
All Things Must Pass. I gotta write that down because I'll forget that. But yeah, you say it is on Netflix, and
yep.
Yeah,
because that Twisted Sister, we didn't talk about it on the show. We talked about it on Between Us. That also on Netflix this month, they've got that Twisted Fucking Sister on there. It's a new documentary. It just came out. I seen the preview for it about a year ago, and it looked really, really good. You know how lately these documentaries are getting really good. They've had some just dynamite ones lately. In the last few years, that Rush one was good. The Foo Fighters had one that was really good. There's just been a lot of great documentaries out, and this one here looks just like it. I mean, it's really. a lot of in depth about the beginning of them and everything. Which there again, what the hell happened to that Kiss documentary that was supposed to be based on that book that they've been talking about for what now, 2 years? What the
Where's
fuck?
Kissology 4?
Yeah, no.
Well, if they
Anyway,
have the reunion tour next year with Tommy,
there you go.
with Ace Frehley, that'll
Tommy
be
will
what
have
Tommy's
time
doing.
to edit. Poor Tom. Tommy has stuck it
Yeah.
I don't
out.
think I like Tommy Thayer. I
So
don't
do
think there's
I.
anything wrong with that.
I really
He
don't.
has caught so much crap.
Right.
And
That's not fair.
I guarantee you, if Gene and Paul come up to me and said, would you like to play drums and Kiss? Where's the makeup? Somebody show me how to put it on.
No, I'll put the Hawk makeup on. I don't give a fuck.
I just paint my face brown.
Put ink on. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
I just
that's
like
Yeah.
Oh, real quick before we go to, I went to that concert. I was going to give you a little review from
Oh,
that.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Me and the Dingman and went down the other night. Kelly and me and her husband,
The Ding Woman.
the Ding woman, Amy. We went down and seen it was POD, Shinedown, and Five Finger Death Punch. It was down there at the Ford Center. It was nice because we had the suite seats up there through her husband, so that was really nice. If you could ever see a concert from the suite, it is very nice. I mean, the bathrooms, no lines. You walk around up atop above all these other people, these goobers that you got to deal with. Got a
Well,
back.
it was a rock show at the Ford Center, so there couldn't have been very many people there standing
There
in
was
line for the
8,000
There were
bathroom.
8,000 people there, dude.
8,000.
Oh,
But
wow.
you know what the difference
Holy
between
mackerel.
that and that show we saw down there was?
It
They
got advertised.
They advertised the shit out of this concert. It was on Facebook every other day. They advertised. They had the first radio announcement I've heard in years that they were actually running, on different radio stations. We got down there a little bit late. POD was already on stage when we got there, so we got to hear about 3/4 of their show. I was really impressed. I like those guys. I've
They're
heard
good.
knew a few of their songs. Of course, couple days before on the way to work, I'd turn Spotify on and I'd listen to POD, their top songs, and then I did that with Shinedown. I've seen Shinedown before, so that wasn't a big issue. Five Finger Death Punch, I had no clue about those guys. I'm not a big fan, and I'm still not. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Did they do Bad Company?
Yes.
Did they do the cover?
Yes. Yeah, they did that. But no, POD was really good. I liked them. They had the sound going. They were kicking. They had actually fairly clear for a 3-band deal. The first band usually gets mudded out. They weren't. It sounded pretty decent.
You do know that that's a Christian rock band, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's what I said. And you didn't turn into dust.
No, I do like their music, but like I said, they did a real good job. Shinedown came next. We saw them before. I've seen them at the Center. It's the first time I've seen them in a bigger stadium type situation. As usual, they sounded really good. They almost sounded too perfect, i.e., they use a lot of backing tracks, and it's sad. It's a 4-piece band, 1 guitar player, and they're playing shit that we do Sound of Madness now. Our band does, and I'm playing it by myself because the singer's dealing with the singing part of it. I'm working my ass off to make that song sound halfway noticeable. That dude on stage was playing about half the shit. He was doing more theatrics and crap like that. I'm like going, you're not playing this. I know you're not playing this. It was very interesting though, because they did 45 and they started out doing a kind of an acoustic version of it. That actually sounded right. It sounded different. It was almost like night and day difference, because you could tell there was not backing tracks, and they sounded like a real band, and I was really getting into it. Then, of course, they played one of their hits. They did, Second Chance. Sounded perfect. Sounded like the record. Sounded too perfect. There's so much going on in that song for 4 people to play. It's just ridiculous. It's just, you could tell it was backed up. But there again, I like them. They did a good job. Okay, so then Five Finger Death Punch comes out. Not my type of, that's not my cup of tea to start out with. I'm just not really into that kind of music.
See, I think that's more like what Madison listens to. We were talking earlier.
Right.
It's that kind of stuff.
And it's, of course, they got their little there's a little mosh pit going on the whole time. We're standing up watching it from the, and the dude, he seemed to be sober. I know there's been a lot of talk with him about his issues with drugs and alcohol, and has had some bad shows. He even brought up a part about TMZ or something and what they've said about him. And I actually had so of course, as soon as I do, I gotta pull TMZ up and do a search and something about him beating his girlfriend up or doing it strange, something about his family or something. Really odd thing happened though during that show. They did what was it? The new scene. What song was that? Wasn't Bad Company. Anyway, they it was that I Saw the Devil Today. That song.
Yeah.
So they're doing that song, and they do it the guy's got an acoustic guitar and the singer, and they're just doing it that way. They're kind of doing it real slow, just kind of acapella or no acapella. You know what I'm saying?
Acoustic.
And exactly. So at the very, it's been a long show.
I'm the guy with the acoustic guitar.
So anyway, I'm back to me myself now. So anyway, we about 3/4 of the way through the song, Jeremy, the drummer is actually from Boonville, so it was a hometown gig for him. It was kind of cool. Starts to play a beat along with these guys, and he's about 10 seconds off. He's playing the right beat, but he's not playing along with these guys. So I don't know if he was listening to a click track and trying to play along with it, and the click track was off, or it was just odd. I looked at Amy, Amy looked at me, and we go, something's not right here. I mean, it's really, and Kelly's like, something's wrong with these guys. And I'm like, yeah, something's wrong. And then they played one more song, and then Kelly and I were like, you know what? That's when we hadn't ate dinner. We were like, well, let's go to McDonald's. Let's just work. We told Amy we're going to get out of here. So they had about 2 or 3 more songs to go. And I talked to Amy later on at night, and it happened again twice where they were off. The drums he was playing the right beat, but wasn't playing along with the other parts. And they were all playing something. They were off by a few seconds. So I don't know what kind of deal they're running, if they're got a lot of backing tracks or what have you, but I've never seen anything like it. I was really kind of sitting there going, that's odd. So there again, it was a night of a lot of backing tapes. So you could have sat at home and listened to your CDs.
There you go.
So there again,
see Britney Spears for that.
Exactly, and that's the thing about I like Shinedown songs and stuff like that. But if I want to sit home and listen to I'd rather him play it and sound almost like the album, but you could tell that it's live. Like when we went to see the Foo Fighters. When you go see those guys, they're playing it because it's always a little different. And they add things onto it and extend things. That's what makes things cool. I don't want to hear the fucking album. I want to hear you play the song, play the songs. So yeah, I wasn't. That wasn't my favorite concert of the year. Hopefully they'll get better throughout the year. We'll see. So anyway,
right.
but I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Ooh.
POD was really good. I do like
a good band.
But the rest of them, no. I don't know.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess we will wrap this episode up. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure that you wrap
that was
it
not
up.
planned. That was weird.
That was kind of freaky. Anyway, make sure you visit agesofrock.com and click on all of our social media links and like us and tweet us and Instagram us or whatever. And
send us money.
Don't send us any money. We're not that kind of podcast.
Send money. There's no problem with that.
Anyway, we will see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Later.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.